Welcome back to Premium Option, the channel designed to help you learn and profit from the stock market and also options trading. Now, if you're brand new here, today we're going to be talking about a very special thing that Square just did for their company. It's a huge catalyst that within the next few years could send them well past their all-time highs. As you can see, they're already very close to it. But this is some really big stuff because they're a very innovative financial tech company, and they're kind of pushing the boundary of how money is used. So this acquisition that they just made is going to push them even further, especially in the future to come, and you guys will see exactly why. But if you're brand new here, make sure to follow us and subscribe down below. It really does help out the channel. And on top of that, if you want a completely free Discord that helps you with market news, market updates, and different types of strategies and trades that we're taking and stuff like that, then I highly encourage you to join down below. Link in the description down below, completely free for you guys. Okay, so let's just talk about the news right away. So Square just bought an Australian company, a BNPL, which stands for Buy Now, Pay Later company, and it's called Afterpay. They acquired it, as you can see down here, for $29 billion. Now, this may seem like a very large purchase and something that kind of seems a little bit too expensive, but remember, they are looking into the future. Square is a very innovative financial tech company, so anything that they do is honestly a lot different than what other companies are doing. But if we scroll down a little bit and just kind of continue to look into what they are, so if you don't know what Afterpay is, or BNPL, Afterpay lets customers pay in 4 interest-free installments and pay a fee if they miss an automated payment. Its 16 million customers will eventually be able to manage installment payments directly through Cash App since they were acquired by Square, and the deal is expected to close in the first quarter of 2022. So this is really big because BNPL has absolutely blown up and it's become kind of like the favorite way to buy things. It's like using a credit card to buy things, but without having to pay interest on it. So if you want to buy your $1,000 Louis Vuitton bag and you can't afford it, you could pay those little installments of $250 every so often. BNPL is a very preferred way to purchase for a lot of millennials and Gen Zs, which we'll get into in a little bit. But also big companies are also hopping on the bandwagon, as far as PayPal, Klarna, MasterCard, and even Apple and Goldman Sachs are leaning towards a partnership to create their own BNPL, which will be absolutely monstrous for Apple. Now, another really big thing, like I said before, is that nearly half of Gen Z shoppers and 70% of millennials are more likely to make a purchase if they can BNPL it, which means basically kind of split up their payments. And on top of that, Bank of America also does predict that the market for BNPL could grow to 10 to 15 times within the next 4 to 5 years by 2025. Now, this is crazy because Klarna is currently the biggest BNPL company out there. They're a Swedish-based company, and they just hit a valuation of $46 billion. Afterpay just got acquired for $29 billion. So you can see that the growth is already there. And on top of that, if it can 10 to 15x from here, this is going to be absolutely insane because these are going to be multi-billion-dollar companies, and it's just going to be a new way for us to use and pay for stuff. So enough talking about what is actually going on in the news. Let's actually look in the charts and how this is affecting Square and Afterpay as a stock. So as we can see, Square on the weekly right here, they are very, very close to their all-time high of $283. And on top of that, we did have a couple really strong weekly closes. As you can see, it just kind of like hit this moving average, this 50 EMA, bounced off it, rejected it. Another thing I really want to show you guys is that Square respects these moving averages like I've never seen on another stock. But aside from that, as you could see, for the past few weeks, they kind of consolidated with these dojis, and then they had a massive bullish close to the upside. They had a little bit of retracement, and then another massive bullish close right off of that news when they acquired Afterpay. Now, if we drop down to the daily, I'll show you exactly what I mean with these moving averages. So these blue circles that I have marked up here is how they've respected these moving averages. Now, if we go back in time, you can see it happen over and over again, but these are probably the most predominant ones that I wanted to point out to you guys. So right here, we had a really massive bounce, and this is kind of the start of the trend line that I have for their uptrend. They have it again happening over here, And now we have kind of like an uptrend that we're going into. And as you can see, we are slowly forming into an uptrend. I'll even mark it up for you guys so you can kind of see the higher highs and the higher lows being formed. And so now I'm thinking the next move is we could possibly break to the all-time high and possibly past it, because Square is having some really good news fall behind it. And with this uptrend, I could see us retrace a little bit, maybe down to here to the 260 255 level, but I think 283 is definitely a level coming very, very soon. Now, another thing I wanted to mark up for you guys is if we go to the intraday, anything that we're looking at on the intraday, we can see that we have broken past very bullishly the last high. Now we're kind of retracing, and one of the areas that I see to be very favorable is we've broken past this resistance, now treating it as a support. The moving average is also in our favor, and on top of that we have a Fibonacci retracement to the 50 and 61.8, which seems to be a very favored retracement for a lot of investors. So this is definitely an area of interest to where Square could fall back to and possibly extend all the way back to all-time highs, or even possibly past it, which if that were to happen intraday, we would see a rise of around 10% in the stock, which would be awesome to see. And I don't really think it's not that possible. And on top of that, if we go to Afterpay, we can see that their stock is also trending in a very favorable way. So if you can just look at this, it's kind of following this awesome trend of the BNPL. Everything BNPL is rising. Now in the past couple of months, it has been kind of consolidating, but once the news came out that they were getting acquired by Square, from right around here to here, they rose over 30% in their stock. Now on top of that, they are pretty far from their all-time high, but if they can actually merge with them in the early quarter of 2022, I can see Afterpay rising, which in theory would also make Square rise as well. So at least by the beginning of 2022, we can see both of these stocks hit all-time highs and possibly go even past it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you found anything helpful with it, if you found any useful information or any future plays that you might take on Square or Afterpay, definitely leave a comment down below, and also like and subscribe to this channel if you want more updates on how to trade in the stock market and make money from it. And on top of that, also remember we do have that free Discord completely free for you guys, link in the description. But we'll just see you guys in the next video. Peace.